hate to say that I want you, but I do. Right now that I know, but I'm needing you right now. Can you help me out? Can I lean on you? In one of those days I know to call out. Can you help me out? Can I lean on you? Above this little town, you do. Look at me smile with tears in my eyes. I love the way you lie. I do. Hate to say that I'm lonely. Hate to say that I miss you. Hate to say that it's dark here, but it's true. Hate to say that I miss you. Hate to say that it's dark in here, but it's true. Bad habit, I know, but I'm needing you right now. Can you help me out? Can I lean on you? Hate to say that I need you. Hate to say that I want you, but I do. So you got to. You don't have to hide away. Both of us are gonna make mistakes. Leaning on somebody's never easy. But look at me and tell me you don't see it. This is not a temporary love. No, this is not a temporary love. Now your heart is in my hands. I won't give it up. This is not a temporary love. No, no, no. deny a temporary love. Missionary, or like a very strange magician, or like a kid with a broken arm. Good. So you all saw my work at Drunk Parents. Good. So this is the first time in my life that I've ever gotten to come out and sing as myself, and that is yes, thanks. And it's because of you deciding to spend your night here with me that I get to do that. So I can't thank you enough. I grew up over in Los Angeles with a very LA. Well, it's fine. I live in New York now, which is much closer to Boston, which is good. And I grew up with a lot of siblings. I'm one of 5, and we all grew up singing together. Music was such a big part of our upbringing. We were known amongst our community as the Platt family singers. And I come from a very sort of comically progressive community. So when I decided to come out when I was 12 years old, it was really like a very small. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, cheers for that. About it too. When I chose to do that, it was really a non-starter. It was such a nothing event, and this is sort of how it went down. So I was 12 years old, I was in middle school, and I was on a trip to Israel because I'm a Jew. When you're a Jew and you're in middle school, you go to Israel. And so I was in Israel, and this kid in my class made this comment, something to the effect of like, oh, like Ben is so lucky that he's gay because he gets to hang out with all the girls and like hang out in their hotel. And like, it was true, like very much true. All my friends were the girls and like I hung out with all the ladies and it was true. And it was gonna be misconstrued by my chaperone as this like act of bullying, and it was like, it was taken as this very sort of, anyway, I didn't want that to be the way my parents heard about it. So I decided to get ahead of it. Got home to the hotel in Tel Aviv, called my parents. I don't know what time it was for them, but for me it was just before bed. And I get on the phone to my mom and dad, and I'm like, I have to tell you something. And my mom's like, is this about your sexuality? Yes. And she was like, okay, yes, we know. I have all these books on my bedside table that I've been waiting to read. I won't read them. It's like, that's lovely. She handed the phone to my dad. My dad was like, are you being safe? I'm like, I'm 12, I don't know what you're talking about. And that was basically it. And I always take for granted how little of an event that was, and I wish that for every single person in this country and in the world that it could just be that simple. I'm a Jew, I'm anxious to live in New York, and once again. Do we have any queer people here this evening? Yeah, we deserve a cheer every once in a while. So I didn't really have to encounter any of that kind of like self-hatred, shame stuff, thankfully, which I'm very grateful for. The one time that I did encounter it was when I was in a relationship when I was much younger with someone who was in the closet, which is sort of a rite of passage if you ask your fellow queer people sitting with you. It's like we all seem to gravitate towards them because we think it's like a challenge, I don't know. And he just really wasn't happy with who he was, and he made me, you know, hide who I was to him. I would go to family functions with him as his friend, and it wasn't a good time. And I wrote this song many years later, this next song, how I really wish I had handled that situation, and had it happened to me now, had I encountered that person today, being a bit stronger and knowing a bit more about who I am, this is sort of what I would have said to him to try to get him to open up and be who he is, and it's called Honest Man. There's something about you in the moonlight, but your eyes go so well with the day. You won't let go of your layers, but your power can strip me away. It's easier for us to hide. If you come out, then so will I. Promise that I'll meet you halfway. 'Cause I see every part of you, and I can tell you see me too by the way that you say my name. I am an honest man. How can't you take my hand? I'm not what you planned, but I'm a safe place to land. but I'm a safe place to live. I am an honest man. I'm sure it was nothing, but you never used to bring somebody else along. It used to be our thing, going to a movie, then we wander home. All these little landmines, all these little things that one can agree to wait. Like when you take every call outside, seems that I've forgotten how to read your face. But I know you too well to get it wrong. If you have to hurt me once, if you have to end it, get it gone. You have all these choices, I have none. You're all that I have to lose. Could it hurt you if I wanted to? I've decided on you. If you keep it going, then one by one the memories all start to blur. You'll ruin the good ones, but I guess my photo album's none of your concern. Don't humor me with kindness. There's nothing kind about 100 small betrayals. If you love me at all, you'll kill it now. If you have to hurt me once, if you have to end it, get it done. You have all these choices, I have none. You're all that I have to lose. Could it hurt you if I wanted to? I've decided on you. I've decided on you. And if I'm disappointed, it's 'cause you're not the person I knew. If I had it my way, I'd be kinder than you. I'm sure I'll forgive you and soon. I'm ashamed, but I'm proud of it too. I've decided on you. Rather than the sadness a little bit and like get my feelings out through the music, I think that's very important to like process your emotions for sure. But I also think that music is also meant to help you feel yourself a little bit. Is anybody feeling themselves this evening? Me too. I was once mistreated by a fella, and you gotta know what you're worth, you gotta know what you deserve. So I went home, and I wrote this song, and I felt much better. Wish that I'd known this feeling was coming when I was crying over you. Now that you're gone, I'm carrying nothing. It feels like flying. Boy, I used to throw a party every little thing you do. Never going back to that heartsick little love party where I lost himself in you. 'Cause now I'm feeling so bad. Worked in that wall, burned all your letters, just for fun. All of that time is easy to swallow. Now that I'm there, oh, it's somewhere in your room. I left my hotel and my favorite shoe. Now I want them back, never give them back to me. You can walk a mile later, tell me how they feel on you. I'll be busy being so bad. Oh, never felt so bad. Say what? That's right. Never felt so bad. Just kidding, I'll be very happy, blah, blah, blah. So, as you can tell maybe from our sort of living room extraterrestrial setup here, I wanted this to feel just as welcome as possible. I wanted to get to know you a little bit and share as much of me as I could and be as transparent as I could. Excuse me. So, I'm just trying to think of some things that I could share with you that you might not know while we're here together in this room. Let's see.
Your number! Yes!
Say again?
Your
Oh,
address!
my phone number. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, okay. I never really understood the stakes of sports growing up. My parents used to bribe me to go to soccer practice with a McFlurry. And I would go and spend the whole time just throwing the chalk in the lines up in the air like it was fairy dust because I love Peter Pan. So, like, there were some clues. What else? I think cats are the devil's work. So, I mean, I'm very allergic to them.
Yes!
So they don't really get to have a chance to begin with, but like, what do? They sit around and make me sneeze. What else? I don't like peanut butter, which is a really controversial thing.
What?
I think I don't like the way it tastes, except in the context of a Justin's peanut butter cup. If you can get your hands on one of those are yummy. My best friend Beanie loves those.
Yes, Beanie.
What else? Is there anything else that I can share? Oh, one time at Jewish summer camp. Oh, I went to Jewish summer camp. Anyway. Yes. Prayers before breakfast. The fifth Harry Potter book came out while I was in camp, and my bunkmate, who was named Ben, got his, but mine did not arrive in time, and people were telling me the ending, and I was getting really upset. So in the middle of the night, I stole his and wrote my last name in it, and got away with it. So wherever you are, Ben, Jewish last name, I'm very sorry. So another thing I like to do besides share strange facts about myself in my living room when I'm at home is to sing songs by my other favorite artists. And I'd love to sing one of them now by a queero of mine, trademark, Brandi Carlile, she's an extraordinary artist. Among many things that I admire about her, one of the many things is that she has always made her queerness a part of her tapestry and a piece of her puzzle, not the entire thing. And she's just an artist, and anyway, I think that's a beautiful thing. And she released a song last year that got all sorts of beautiful Grammy attention, of course, and in the country kind of rallied around it because it's this beautiful, strange, specific lyric that I think everyone can find their way into. It's sort of about underdogs, and I think it's just gorgeous, and I've been singing it every day since I heard it, and I'd love to sing it now. This is The Joke. Feeling nervous, aren't you, boy? With your quiet voice during impeccable stuff. Don't ever let them steal your joy or your gentle way to keep them from running wild. They can kick dirt in your face, dress you down and tell you that your place is in the middle. When they hate the way you shine, I see you tugging on your shirt, try to hide inside of it and hide how much it hurts. But I'm not for all they care. Let them stare, I'm scared away. I've been to the movies, I've seen how it ends. Now the joke's over. singers over here who are glowing. Miss Crystal Monet Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Alan Monet Lewis in the middle. And Mr. Kojo Lewis. On our guitars on either side we have Mr. Justin Goldner and Mr. Neer Feldman. On the bass, Miss Julia Adamy. Directly behind me, carrying the beat, Mr. Derek Wright, this incredible gentleman. On the strings over there, we have Miss Amanda Lowe on the violin and Miss Platt on the trombone. And finally, on the keys, leading the fray, Mr. Mike Raschuti, ladies and gentlemen. Good hydration, hold on. Speaking of Mike Raschuti, dear Mike, would you give us a chord, please? I don't know if you're listening or if you wanted to hear from me. I don't feel like you're supposed to when somebody sets you free. I'm not good at pretending that I'm happy to be alone. Part of me is a question, can't answer it on my own. Cause I lost part of me when I lost all of you, now I'm lost. I don't wanna go crawling, but I catch myself falling, falling. I could try to stop calling, just to show myself. Did you keep my sweater, sweater? Did you read my letter? Do you know me better, better than I know myself? Do you know me better, better than I know myself? You got a lot on the things I want. I'm the lost, only one here who's addicted to holding on. I don't have any kids now, and I've put myself to sleep. But it's me that I miss now, and it's a me that I keep. I wanna go crawling, crawling, but I catch myself falling, falling. I can try to stop crawling, crawling, just to show myself. Did you read my letter? Do you know me better, better than I know myself? Do you know me better, better than I know myself?
Oh my God.
Lost all of me when I lost all of you. I don't wanna go crawling, crawling, but I catch myself falling, falling. I could try to stop calling, calling, just to show myself. Did you keep my sweater, sweater? Did you read my letter? Do you know me better? Do you know me better? wanna share your address. I wanna be your emergency contact. You can put me, 'cause you know I know you best. I know you best. And I know when I go without you, I'll never be home. I wanna share your address. Most days I wake up with a pit in my chest. There are thoughts that I can't put to rest. There's a worry that I can't please. Most nights I am restless and crying won't come. So I lay there and wait for the sun. There's a trouble that won't show its face. You came out of nowhere and you cut through all the noise. I make sense of the madness when I listen to your voice. Darling, only you can ease my mind. Help me leave these lonely thoughts behind. When they pull me under and I can feel my sanity start to unwind. Darling, only you can ease my mind. I'll admit, for a moment I felt so afraid, just to show you the mess that I made. There are pieces I usually hide. Oh, but when you connect me with your steady hand, with a language that I understand, I feel put back together inside. You came out of nowhere and you cut through all the noise. I make sense of the madness when I listen to your voice. You can ease my mind. I want to hear just a little. Help me leave these lonely thoughts behind. Gorgeous. When they pull me under and I can feel my sanity start to unwind. Darling, only you can ease my mind. you know now, named Ben Abraham. He wrote a lot of songs with me. That's, I think, my favorite that we wrote together. So, number 2, when I left before and these people tore the house down, I was keen. I just wanted to do that. You've seen everything I've been drinking. It's not going nowhere. I mean, how do you know? And number 3, one of my favorite artists of all time who I try to emulate in every way possible, which I'm sure many of you do as well, because I'm sure you love his music too, is Stevie Wonder. So this is Stevie song.
Though you never knew you were my reason, I've gone much too far for you now to say that I got to throw my castle away. All the dreams I have picked out perfect come true. Stay calm, back some other day. You know you don't believe that they do come true. For did my dreams come true when I look at you? And maybe time you believe you to might be all the joy, all the love, all of me. Just to find that I found what I searched to discover. I've come much too far for me now to find the love that I sought can never be mine. And I don't believe that they do come true. For did my dreams come true when I looked at you? And maybe time you would believe you to might be all the joy, all the love, all of me. And all the answers from the world do they know? For in romance, until the breeze is a chance, and maybe with a chance we'll move on. No, till I die, all the joy, all the love of
song to me, and I just want to get closer to you because you sound good, you look good. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ben.
Hello, balcony. How are you? Yeah, the balcony always brings it. So this next song I wrote with originally with kind of two ideas in mind. The first being just how much I love my pop, my dad. He's a big hero of mine, and I just can't really imagine life without him, and he set such a beautiful example for me in every possible way, and I wanted to write something about how much I loved him, mixed with this idea of saying things to the people that we love now, while they're here, while we can, in the present, and not putting it off till later, because we never know what might happen, and you never know when it's going to be too late. My father's very much here and well and healthy and alive and all of that, but unfortunately, about 4 or so days before we left on this tour, his mother, my grandma Sue, passed away, this song has kind of taken on a whole new meaning since then. She was really the greatest grandma of all time, like a world-class back tickler. One time she peed her pants during Twister. She's awesome. And she made really good peanut butter balls, and there's one of the other ways in which I like peanut butter, I like those. And even in the way that she went and the timing in which she went, she really was taking care of all of us, and particularly me. It like kind of was beshared if you're Jew. I was able to be at all of the rehearsals for the tour, and on the one day in between when we were rehearsing in New York and when we were going to leave and go on this journey is when her funeral happened, and when I got to go and pay my respects and say goodbye and honor her. And I just felt so grateful that it timed out that way, because I know that she would have wanted me to come here and sing all this for you, because she would be at as many of these shows as she possibly could if she was here. And so I'd love to sing this song for my grandma Sue. You put all your faith in my dreams. You gave me the world that I wanted. What did I do to deserve it? I follow your steps with my feet. I walk on the road that you started. I need you to know that I heard you, every word. I've waited way too long to say everything you mean to me. In case you don't live forever, let me tell you now, I love you more than you'll ever wrap your head around. In case you don't live forever, let me tell you the truth. I'm everything that I am because of you. I've carried this song in my mind. Listen, it's echoing in me, but I haven't helped you to hear it. We've only got so much time. I'm pretty sure it would kill me if you didn't know that pieces of me are pieces of you. I'm waiting way too long to say everything you mean to me. In case you don't live forever, let me tell you now, I love you more than you'll ever wrap your head around. In case you don't live forever, let me tell you the truth. I'm everything that I am because of you. I am a hero whenever I need one. I just look up to you and I see one. I'm a man 'cause you taught me to be one. In case you don't live forever, let me tell you now, I love you more than you'll ever wrap your head around. In case you don't live forever, let me tell you the truth. I'm everything that I am. In case you don't live forever, let me tell you the truth. As long as I'm For those who aren't familiar, that was another Queero trademark of mine, Elton John. I wish I had a shinier jacket. So this next song is one. Oh my goodness. Whew. This is a big stage! That I hope some of you are familiar with. It's a song that I love very, very much. Also, Ben Abraham and I wrote together with our friend Alex Hope. I wrote this at a time when a relationship was coming to a close. For a reason that I think is very valid in many situations. In this situation, it really was, which is that we both had a lot of figuring out still to do of who we were on our own, and we needed to grow separately and to figure out how to stand on our own 2 feet before kind of going all in with someone. But when that was happening, I got to thinking, and I realized that there's so many situations in which that's sort of a cop-out, and people get too close to each other. And an easy way out is just to kind of say, you know, actually, I need to figure out how to like stand on my own 2 feet, figure out who I am, because it's like a fear mechanism, sort of. So I wrote the song sort of from the perspective of someone kind of answering that back and saying, you know, I hear you, and I also need to figure out things too. I'm not done growing either, but I don't understand why we can't just stay next to each other and stay together and grow at the same time and give each other space to grow and find who we are instead of living each other's lives. And I hope for many of you, you find that you're in that relationship or that marriage or whatever that is now, and you're with that person where you feel like they give you room to be who you are and find who you are while still being with you and growing with you. And maybe for some of you had to end a relationship for that reason the way that I did. And wherever you kind of land on either side of that coin, the song is for you. You say there's so much you don't know. You need to go and find yourself. You say you'd rather be alone, 'cause you think you won't find it tied to someone else. Ooh, said it's true that the growing only happens on your own. They don't know me and you. I don't think you have to leave. If to change is what you need, you can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow, and we'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. You won't be the only one. I am unfinished, I've got so much left to learn. I don't know how this river runs, but I'd like the company through every twist and turn. Ooh, said it's true that the growing only happens on your own. They don't know me and you. You don't ever have to leave. If to change is what you need, you can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow, and we'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. Oh, grow as we go. Grow as we go. I don't know who we'll become. I can't promise, it's not written in the stars, but I believe that when it's done, we're gonna see that it was better that we grew up together. Tell me you don't wanna leave, 'cause it changes what you need. You can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can every night flow. We'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go. I know I'm staying forever.
Me
I
too.
will definitely go back to Boston when come on, let's meet. I was walking around in the comments and everything. It is so stunning, you guys. And I have a lot of cousins here too. If you, I don't know. So a couple things before we get to that song. First, I just have to thank again the people that are on stage with me. And like I said, this is the first time that I've ever come out here and done my own material, and it's an incredibly scary thing. And I got so lucky that not only did I get people to work with me who are extraordinary musicians and talented artists, but are also, each and every one of them, an extraordinary individual and human being on the inside. So thank you all so much for being here. Secondly, so I started working as an actor when I was 8 years old, really young, and I was really obsessed with kind of getting to adulthood very quickly because very gratefully I knew what I wanted to do from a very young age. I always knew that I wanted to perform. And so it was kind of in a race to adulthood. I had all these older siblings as well, and I could just sort of watch what they were doing and race to be like them. I'm sorry, there's lots of bubbles because of the water. And so I did. I got there really quickly. I was working all through school, and then as soon as I got out of high school, I was living on my own in Chicago doing Book of Mormon, and then in Louisiana doing Pitch Perfect, and just working right away as an adult. And it was great, but then in the last couple of years, I sort of looked back and felt a bit frustrated, and I thought, I wish I hadn't been in such a hurry. I wish I had taken more time to just be a little more restless and a little younger, a little more irresponsible, and taken time to be where I was. And then I felt doubly frustrated because I thought, look at all the different points in life at which I have spent all this time looking elsewhere, either forward or backward or just anywhere besides where I actually am. And I have such a hard time just being present because I live so much in my own mind. I have a lot of anxiety, which I'm sure many of you do as well. And I find that, anxiety deserves a cheer. And so I found in my life that the number one best way for me to feel really alive and really present and really aware of the moment and just being exactly where I am and nowhere else and just everything else goes away is when I get to sing and perform live music. So you've given me such a gift by choosing to spend your night here with us. I cannot thank you enough. And this song always acts as a kind of reminder to me. It's something I listen to and sing when I'm feeling like there's so much outside noise and there's all this scary stuff going around in the world and all this stuff, when I need to just feel like I'm present on the ground where I am. And I hope that it acts as that kind of reminder for you too. And it's called Older. I was walking down 57th Street towards Park with the same old song in my same old heart, making plans I'm gonna do when I get older. Past a gray-haired man and I found his eyes. It's like he knew my thoughts and he read my mind, saying life is gonna find when it's supposed to. Felt my feet stop short and I turned my head, tried to lean into every word he said. And he said, when you are younger, you wish you're older. Then when you're older, you wish for time to turn around. Don't